We begin with judicial matters, where the Supreme Court has set aside the judgment of the Court of Appeal in Abuja, recognizing Julius Abure as the national chairman of the Labour Party. In a unanimous judgment, a five-member panel of the Apex Court held that the Court of Appeal lacked the jurisdiction to have pronounced Abure national chairman of the Labour Party after finding out earlier that the substance of the case was about the party's leadership. The Apex Court held that the issue of leadership was an internal affair of a party over which the courts lacked jurisdiction. Now, the court further allowed the appeal filed by Senator Nenadi Usman and one other and held that it was meritorious. It also proceeded to dismiss the cross-appeal filed by the Abure group of the Labour Party for being unmeritorious. Reacting to these developments, the Julius Abure-led Labour Party has refuted this purported removal as national chairman of the Supreme Court. Now, in a statement by the National Publicity Secretary of the party, Abayomi Arabambi, the party described the information as fake news. The statement said what transpired in court is as follows. Supreme Court strikes out Nenadi Abure's suits, says that only political parties can determine who their leaders are. It also said that the courts shouldn't dabble into the affairs of political parties, adding that the Supreme Court struck out the suit at the trial court and also that of the Court of Appeal. Our News Central correspondent Joshua Imarayi joins us to give an update on this. Hello, Joshua. Thank you for joining us. Hello, Joshua. Now, speak to us, about what the Supreme Court's decision means for the future of Julius Abure's leadership in the Labour Party.
Well, for Julius Abure, the only pillar holding him back as the national chairman of the party is the Appeal Court ruling affirming his leadership as the national chairman of the party. As we speak now, this morning, the Supreme Court ruled otherwise and said that that particular ruling by the Appeal Court has been set aside. This means that the party should go back to its internal mechanism to set out clear ground lines to solve all the dispute that is affecting the party now. So it is not the sole prerogative of the party to determine who is the national chairman of the party through a national convention.
Now, speaking about this, as you say, looking at the internal ongoing crisis, within the Labour Party, how do you think that this Supreme Court ruling, will affect the party's unity moving forward?
Well, it is clear, the Supreme Court ruling is clear that the party itself should settle its own dispute by himself. And now, you recall that sometime in September 2024, they held an emergency meeting in Imarayi in Abia State, and a 29-man committee, caretaker committee, was inaugurated. And the chairman of that committee happens to be the former finance minister, Nenadi Usman. And in that 29-member committee, there are several persons who have been nominated to serve in various capacities in that 29-member committee. There are some senators. That is speaking about Senator Neda Imaswe, Senator Ireti Kinjibe, as well as the governor of Abia State, Governor Oti, as well as all those people who have been elected under the umbrella of the Labour Party. They've been saddled with this responsibility to the national caretaker committee to see to resolve the leadership disputes of the Labour Party, and they've done that. Now, you recall that before the advent of Julius Abure, there was a national chairman who actually was deceased in 2020. Now, following that, they had to fill that vacuum, and Julius Abure, who is the National Executive Council chairman, was elected. Now, before then, there was already a crisis, on the appealing crisis that was supposed to be resolved. Justice Gabriel Kolawole in 2018 particularly ordered that before a year, all the issues within the internal issues within the Labour Party should be settled, and they should do that through a national convention. That is, they have to constitute, before a national convention could hold, they have to constitute a meeting at the ward level, from the ward level down to the local government level, then down to the state level, before a national convention can emerge. Now, that particular resolution was applauded by INEC in 2022 who agreed to use that as a mechanism to settle all beefs or conflict within the party. But now, the reason why that September 2024 emergency meeting was held in Imarayi was because, according to the Labour Party and according to the faction of Senator Nenada Usman, was that Julius Abure failed to employ such mechanism to hold a legal national convention that is supposed to hold from the world level down to the state level, to the local level, local government level, and down to the state level before a national convention should hold. That is why they inaugurated that 29-member committee with Nenadi Usman being the caretaker committee chairman. Now, the whole bone of contention lies within the party. That is, the party should settle all assembly, and they've done that from that emergency meeting they had in Imarayi in September 2024.
Absolutely. Joshua, thank you so much for giving us that update.
It's a pleasure.